There are guys in Michigan and Wisconsin right now who grew up watching their dads ride. Told themselves at 15 they'd buy their first sled at 22. They never did. Not because the sport got bad, because the cheapest new trail sled on the floor today costs more than some of them make in 3 months. This is not about inflation. Everyone's prices went up. I know that. This is about a sport that made specific choices in specific years that turned the entry point from something a young guy could justify into something that requires a car loan negotiation just to walk through the door. The 3 manufacturers still standing didn't stumble into this. They built it, and they knew exactly what they were doing. By the end of this, you'll see the exact year the industry crossed a line it never came back from, and the specific sled that crossed it. There's something happening right now with one of the 3 manufacturers that proves the pricing model is breaking even on the industry side of the table. I'll get there, and I'll leave you with the specific window in the used market by year and model where this sport is actually still affordable if you know where to look. Stay with me. Let me give you the year. 2003. That winter, a new Polaris RMK 600 was around $7,400. A new Ski-Doo MXZ 700 was around $7,800. Current competitive sleds. Real machines. Nothing to apologize for. Then Yamaha showed up. The 2003 Yamaha RX-1. 4-stroke, 4-cylinder, 998 cubic centimeters engine taken directly from the Yamaha R1 motorcycle. Over 145 horsepower. Price was $9,000 to $10,500. At a time when every competitive trail sled was $7,000 to $8,000, Yamaha walked in asking 10 grand. People laughed. Some dealers didn't know what to do with it. But here's what Yamaha actually proved. Not that riders wanted 4-strokes. The RX-1 had handling problems and weak suspension that riders complained about for 2 straight seasons. What Yamaha proved was that a buyer in this market would pay over $10,000 for a snowmobile. That was the test. And the test came back positive. Ski-Doo was watching, Polaris was watching, Arctic Cat was watching. They couldn't let Yamaha own the premium segment alone. BRP started developing what became the Rotax 4Tech platform. Arctic Cat built 4-stroke options for their touring and mountain lines. Yamaha had permanently established that there is a ceiling above $10,000 in snowmobiling. And once that ceiling moved, it never came back. By 2012, BRP had turbocharged platforms entering the premium mountain and trail segments. The Summit X turbo option pushed into the $14,000 to $16,000 range. Polaris responded with premium mountain performance builds. Arctic Cat developed their own turbo mountain sleds. Nobody wanted to blink first. Nobody could be the brand that stopped innovating. We all know developing a turbocharged snowmobile system costs serious money. Tens of millions in development costs per platform. In the early 1990s, Polaris was building over 40,000 units of a single model, the XLT, in a single year. One model, 40,000. The fixed cost per unit was tiny. By 2020, that same production volume was spread across an entire manufacturer's full lineup for a complete year. When you engineer expensive turbo systems and spread costs across half the units you used to sell, each sled carries more overhead. Those costs go somewhere. They go into the sticker. By 2022, the Rotax 900 ACE Turbo R at 165 horsepower was the flagship of BRP's premium trail and mountain lineup. $18,000 to $22,000 depending on build. Trail riders didn't create the turbo arms race. They paid for it anyway. In 2003, you could enter the sport with a current competitive trail sled for $7,000 to $8,000. In 2026, the cheapest new trail sled from any of the 3 manufacturers is around $11,000 to $12,000. Not a turbo, not performance spec, entry level. The floor moved because the ceiling did. I want you to try something. Go to BRP's website. Open the configurator on a base 2026 Ski-Doo MXZ Sport. Starts around $11,000 for the 600 cubic centimeter entry build. Now start checking the option boxes. Electric start. Add. Ride command GPS with the touchscreen display. Add. Dynamic power steering. Another jump. Premium seat. Heated grips. Adjustable riser. By the time you've clicked your way to a mid-spec MXSZ that most riders would consider baseline, you're looking at $14,000 to $15,000. Not one of those checkboxes made the sled faster, not one lowered maintenance costs, not one added horsepower. This is called feature stacking. It's been standard practice across the industry for 15 years. GPS displays, ride-by-wire throttle, semi-active suspension, electronic start systems, heated grips as standard on mid-tier trims. Each one costs money to engineer, manufacture, and warrant over 5 years. Then you get into the service trap. When your sled throws a fault code on a modern electronic system, most platforms require a dealer with proprietary software to read it. That is a structural dependency built into the product. The 1995 Polaris XLT told you everything on a spark plug face. Your 2026 sled needs an authorized technician with a software key. That's a choice someone made, and you fund it every model year you stay in the system. Quick pause. If this is landing the way I think it should, hit the like button. Small channel, everyone genuinely helps. Now let's go back to 2021, when BRP cut snowmobile production to drain excess inventory. Polaris pulled back. Arctic Cat under Textron extended lead times. Short supply, high demand, a sport that runs on a seasonal window. Dealers went off script. A DM, additional dealer markup. That line item above MSRP on the buyer's order. Dressed as market adjustment, dealer prep, or sometimes nothing labeled at all. Sleds that MSRP'd at $14,000 to $15,000 were landing on dealer floors at $17,500 to $20,000 across snowbelt markets through 2021 and 2022. Go into any major snowmobile Facebook group and search ADM 2022. The receipts are still up there. People were documenting it in real time. Buyers paid it because there was nowhere else to go. Wait lists were 6 to 12 months long. If you wanted to ride that season, that was the price. Now here's what happened downstream. Private sellers immediately recalibrated. A 2-year-old sled that should have been $9,000 to $11,000 on the private market showed up at $13,000 to $16,000 because the dealer floor was showing 18 grand. Why would a private seller take less? Supply eased in late 2023 and through 2024. Most dealer ADM went away, but used prices came down. The guy who budgeted $8,500 for a used trail sled in 2019 was looking at $12,000 minimum for the same machine in 2025. This market disruption permanently repriced the secondary market upward and never came all the way back down. Let's talk about competition. BRP, Polaris, Arctic Cat, 3 manufacturers left on Earth that matter. 3. Go compare their 2026 comparable trail sleds right now. The MSRP spread between equivalent machines from each of the 3 brands is usually within 5 to 8%. That is not coincidence. When 3 players remain in a market, pricing becomes self-coordinating. Not by agreement in a boardroom, that would be illegal, and I'm not saying that. By observation. Every manufacturer watches the other's sticker prices the way you watch the other guy's hand at the card table. If BRP comes in 10% lower than Polaris, Polaris loses volume. Polaris can't let that happen. So they match within the band. Arctic Cat prices with the group. Nobody cuts aggressively because there's no 4th manufacturer left to take market share from. The last time there was genuine price competition in snowmobiling was when all 4 manufacturers were fighting for the same buyer. Yamaha exited in 2023. Their last sleds were delivered in 2025. 57 years in the industry. Gone. And the pressure valve that kept the other 3 honest about pricing walked out the door with them. Except here's the thing nobody expected. Even with 3 manufacturers, the model didn't hold. Let me make this real. A guy turns 22 in 2015. His dad rode through the 1980s and 1990s. Talked about it his entire childhood. He goes to the dealer. Cheapest current trail sled is around $10,000. The one his dad says he should actually buy is for $13,000 to $14,000. Finance over 60 months at 9%. That's about $260 to $290 a month. Before a trailer, before gear, before trail passes, before insurance. First year real cost is $6,000 to $8,000 on top of the monthly payments. He walks out, doesn't go back. At 32, he's got a mortgage and kids. The window he had to enter the sport is closed. That story played out tens of thousands of times across the snowbelt between 2008 and 2020. Participation among riders under 35 dropped 12% in that window, even in years with excellent snowfall. The average rider in 2010 was 40 years old. Today, that number is north of 54. Nobody at BRP or Polaris called this a crisis while it was happening, because the buyers who remained older, loyal, established, were still buying, until volume got too thin to ignore. Drop a comment right now. Have you tried to bring someone younger into this sport and watch them walk away when they saw the price? Tell me exactly what they said when they saw the sticker. I want to know. Let me show you something affordable. The 2012 to 2017 used trail sled window is the best value in snowmobiling right now. Old enough that COVID-era price inflation has partially bled off. New enough that parts are available and mechanics still know them cold. 2012 to 2016 Ski-Doo MXZ-TN T600 E-Tech. Direct injection. No premix. Clean burning. The E-Tech 600 is one of the most reliable two-stroke trail engines BRP has ever produced. Parts supply is strong, the Revex chassis is well sorted, and any experienced BRP mechanic knows this motor. Running examples with reasonable miles are in the $4,500 to $7,500 range, depending on condition and your market. That price will drift upward as this generation ages out, so the window is now. 2015 to 2019, Polaris Indy 600 SP, AXYS chassis, the lightest platform Polaris had built at that point. The 600 Liberty engine is proven and widely serviced. Good clean examples are $4,000 to $7,000. Before you hand over any money on an AXYS-era Polaris, run the VIN at the Polaris Off-Road Recalls page. Do that before you pay. Trust me on that one. 2014 to 2018 Arctic Cat ZR6000 with the CTE C2 engine. This machine is underpriced right now because Arctic Cat's reputation took unrelated hits during that era. The 600 cubic centimeter C-Tech 2 Twin is a solid, well-made engine, fully serviceable without proprietary software. Clean examples with under 3,500 miles are in the $4,500 to $6,500 range in most markets. They won't be that cheap forever as low-mileage examples thin out. All three sleds are serviceable by anyone with the factory service manual and a standard metric toolkit. There are no dealer laptop, no proprietary key to reset a throttle position sensor. Worth it if you ask me. You can also do three things this week. First of all, set a hard ceiling of $7,500 for a used sled and go to Sled Trader, Facebook Marketplace, and your regional snowmobile classifieds before you get anywhere near a dealer lot. Not the manufacturer website, not the showroom. Private market first. That budget gets you into the 2012 to 2017 window if you're patient and willing to travel a couple hours for the right example. Second, before you look at any specific machine, find the factory service manual for that year and model. For anything in the 2012 to 2018 range, these exist as free PDFs kept alive by the sled community. If a factory manual doesn't exist for the machine you're considering, that tells you something important about long-term support. Third, cold compression test, both cylinders. Before you hand over $1, you want a minimum of 120 psi on each cylinder, both sides within 10% of each other. A seller who won't allow a cold compression test before you buy is a seller you don't buy from. Full stop. The $22,000 sled is real. The pricing trajectory is real. But none of it has to be your problem if you're smart about where you enter. The sport you remember, or the one your dad described, it's still out there. It's just not in the showroom anymore. Drop a comment with this. What year did you last pay under $8,000 for a trail sled, new or used, and would you make that same call at that price today? I want to know what the real market actually looked like for people who were in it. If this is the kind of honest content you're looking for, hit subscribe, like, small channel. Every single subscriber matters to me. Check out the next video right here.